The world waited for a promise that changed everything. From dusty roads to crowded villages, from laughter to tears, one man's words turned hearts of stone into hearts of faith. And now, that story reaches its breaking point. The journey of Jesus and his followers is about to enter its most powerful chapter yet. This isn't just another season. This is the season where faith will be tested, hearts will be shattered, and hope will rise again. This is The Chosen. Season 6. A quiet voice begins. He walks alone, under the same sky that once echoed with his laughter and his words of peace. The world around him is changing. The whispers of faith have become the roars of fear. The disciples who once followed with joy now feel the weight of what's to come. The miracles, the crowds, the moments of wonder. They seem so far away, but his purpose has never been clearer. Visuals, flashbacks. Jesus healing the blind, comforting the broken, standing beside the sea with his disciples. Each step he takes is a step toward destiny. Every look, every tear, every prayer is leading to something greater. Something no one can yet understand. This is not just a story from the past. It's the story of every soul searching for light in a world of darkness. Music grows deeper. Emotional strings join. We remember the laughter of the children who ran to him, the hope in the eyes of those who were healed, the peace that came with his presence. And yet behind that peace, there is a shadow, a truth that even his closest friends cannot face. The time is near. The road is narrow. The cross is waiting. Visuals fade to black. Faint sound of wind and heartbeat. In the silence, faith is tested. In the darkness, light is born. This is where the journey turns, where love becomes sacrifice, and where the chosen must face what it truly means to believe. Crescendo in music, cinematic tone, a flash of the title, The Chosen Season 6. The story that began with a call, "Follow me," now leads to the moment that will change the world forever. Music fades, leaving one final heartbeat sound. Soft, echoing sound of waves hitting the shore. Gentle strings rise. The screen fades in from darkness, a sunrise over Galilee. The story began by the water, where fishermen cast their nets, and the world seemed ordinary. But then, a voice broke through the stillness, a simple call, "Follow me." And from that moment, nothing was ever the same. Visuals: Peter and Andrew leaving their boats, Matthew looking up from his tax table, Mary Magdalene turning toward the light. They came from different walks of life: a fisherman, a tax collector, a woman healed from darkness, bound by one thing: faith in a man who saw what no one else could see. He saw worth in the forgotten, courage in the weak, and purpose in the broken. Together they became his chosen ones. Music builds slightly, gentle percussion joins. We watched them walk dusty roads, sharing laughter and tears. We saw miracles unfold, water turning to wine, the blind seeing, the lame walking, and hearts being reborn. Crowds followed, stories spread, and hope began to bloom in a land that had forgotten it. But with every miracle came a whisper, a growing fear among those who ruled. The more lives he touched, the more powerful his message became, and the more dangerous it was to those in power. Visuals darken. Roman soldiers march. Pharisees glare. Jesus stands calm among chaos. We've seen the disciples doubt and stumble, yet rise again with faith stronger than before. We've seen them learn that following him is not just about witnessing wonders, but about carrying the weight of truth, even when it costs everything. The tone shifts. Slower music, deeper voiceover. From the shores of Galilee to the crowded streets of Jerusalem, the journey has led to this. Love has been tested, loyalty has been questioned, and destiny, the one he spoke of since the beginning, draws closer with every heartbeat. Visuals: Jesus walking toward Jerusalem, the disciples following silently. The music swells. This is more than a story of men who followed a teacher. It's the story of how faith turns ordinary people into part of something eternal. The chosen have walked beside the Son of God, but now they must walk through the storm that will change everything. Fade to black. The music pauses. A single whisper echoes. It has begun. Low drumbeat begins. The screen fades in from black. Storm clouds roll over Jerusalem. A gust of wind carries dust across a narrow path. The sound of distant thunder. Something is changing. The air feels heavier, the world quieter, as if creation itself is holding its breath. Every prophecy, every promise, every miracle has led to this moment. The journey that began with a whisper will now echo through eternity. Visuals. Jesus standing at a distance, face calm yet resolute. Disciples watching with fear and confusion. The eyes that once looked upon the lost with compassion now gaze toward the cross. The teacher who once washed the feet of others now walks toward his own sacrifice. And those who followed him, those who swore to never leave, are about to face their greatest test. Music builds. Haunting choir hums in the background. Slow motion. Peter clenching his fists. Mary weeping. John looking toward the horizon. The city that once welcomed him with palm branches now waits with anger and fear. Friends will betray. Leaders will condemn. Faith will tremble under the weight of doubt. And yet, even in the shadow of death, light begins to rise. Visuals. A torch drops to the ground. Roman soldiers advance. Jesus praying alone in the garden, eyes lifted to heaven. Every heartbeat of this new season carries the sound of destiny. Season 6 will not just tell a story, it will shake the soul. It will show how love does not run from pain, how hope does not die in darkness, and how truth cannot be silenced by fear. Music swells, flashes of key moments, a hand reaching out, chains breaking, the sunrise piercing clouds. This is where faith meets fire. This is where promises are fulfilled and hearts are broken, only to be healed again. The story is no longer just about following, it's about believing, even when all seems lost. Cinematic pause, silence, then a single heartbeat sound. Because when the world sees defeat, heaven sees victory. Title fades in slowly. The Chosen, Season 6. The story continues. Soft cinematic music begins, piano and strings. The screen fades in. Slow-motion shots of cameras rolling, lights flickering, sand blowing across a set built like ancient Jerusalem. Behind every frame, there is faith. Behind every scene, there is prayer. And behind every tear on screen, there are hundreds of unseen hands shaping a miracle. Visuals. Dallas Jenkins guiding actors with quiet focus. Makeup artists preparing disciples. Crew adjusting cameras in the desert heat. The Chosen is not just a show, it's a movement, a calling that has reached millions across the world. From small studios to massive sets built with love, every moment is crafted to bring one timeless story to life. The story of hope, of sacrifice, of redemption. Music swells softly, quick flashes of fans from around the world, people watching on phones, crying, smiling, sharing reactions online. They come from every corner of the earth. Different languages, different faces, but the same heartbeat. Fans who believe, who feel, who wait. They've watched the journey unfold season by season. And now, their hearts beat in rhythm with the story. Visuals shift. Cast laughing between takes. Crew clapping after an emotional scene. A camera lens capturing Jesus walking through the dust. Every shot, every moment on set carries a weight, not just of performance, but of purpose. Because The Chosen is more than entertainment. It's a reminder that light still shines in a world that often feels dark, and that stories of faith can still move mountains. Music deepens. Soft voiceover continues as the screen fades to fans gathered at premieres, hands raised in worship, tears in eyes. Season 6 is not just made for viewers. It's made with them. Every donation, every prayer, every word of encouragement fuels this vision. It's the proof that when faith and art walk together, Miracles are filmed frame by frame. A moment of silence. Then the sound of a camera click. The scene freezes on a close-up of Jesus looking toward the horizon. The world is watching. The wait is almost over. And what's coming next will leave no heart untouched. Text fades in slowly. The Chosen, Season 6. Made by believers. Watched by the world. Low hum builds. A deep heartbeat echoes. The screen fades from darkness into slow flashes of light. Close-ups of Jesus' eyes, hands reaching out, the disciples standing in silence. The music swells. Strings tremble with anticipation. Time. We've felt it slipping through the seasons, each one drawing us closer to this moment. For years we've watched the story unfold, and now the wait is ending. Visuals. Calendar pages fluttering, sand flowing through an hourglass, clouds breaking as light pierces through. Every whisper of faith, every tear shed in waiting, every question of when. It all leads here. The moment the world has been waiting for is no longer a dream. It has a date. Music pauses. A single rising tone fills the silence. A bright flash transitions to bold, cinematic text on screen. The Chosen, Season 6. Coming. Insert release date. Example, Spring 2025. Soft gasp sound effect. Then slow motion visuals. Disciples embracing. The cross silhouette forming. Fans reacting online. This season will not just continue the story. It will redefine it. The road to Calvary begins here. The promise of resurrection starts now. Music surges. Angelic choir meets cinematic drums. Text pulses with light. Each episode will break hearts and heal them again. Each scene will remind the world why this story still matters. Because The Chosen is more than a series. It's a living message. Visuals flash quickly. Jesus lifting his eyes to heaven. The crowd falling to their knees, hands reaching toward the light. And now, for the millions who have waited, hoped, and prayed. The wait is almost over. The countdown begins. The world will witness the next chapter, and nothing will ever be the same again. Music hits its emotional climax. Title fades in one final time. The Chosen, Season 6, coming soon. Then silence. The music softens. The echo of drums fades, replaced by a faint piano and the sound of wind moving through empty streets. The light returns, golden and gentle. A cross silhouette glows faintly on the horizon. The world has seen his miracles. It has heard his words. But now, it will witness his greatest act. Not of power, but of love. Visuals. Jesus standing alone at dawn. The disciples watching from afar. The wind gently stirring his robe. The story that began beside the sea now reaches the edge of eternity. The path is steep, the shadows are long, and yet, he walks forward. Not for glory, not for fame, but for you. Music deepens, violins and choir merge softly. Because this isn't just a story from long ago. It's a reminder that faith is still alive, that hope still breathes, and that love still saves. Even when the world falls silent, his message keeps speaking. To the lost, to the weary, to the believer who refuses to give up. Visuals. Flashes of modern faces. Fans watching with tears. Candles being lit. Hands held in prayer. Season 6 isn't just about what happened then. It's about what's happening now. In every heart that chooses to believe again. The voice grows softer, almost like a whisper carried by the wind. So hold on to faith. Keep your eyes on the light, because the story isn't over. It's only beginning again. Music swells for the final time. The logo of The Chosen fades in slowly, surrounded by warm light. The Chosen, Season 6. Faith continues. Love endures. The world will never be the same. The screen fades to black. A single heartbeat echoes. Then silence. The sound of a single soft note on a piano. The screen glows with golden light fading into deep blue. Gentle wind sweeps across, carrying a faint echo of a heartbeat. A whisper fades in. The story continues. Visuals. Silhouettes of the disciples fade into light. Jesus' figure disappears into the horizon. Text appears, glowing softly in gold and white. The Chosen, Season 6. Coming soon. Pause. Then slow text transitions onto the screen. Subscribe for more updates. Share this story of faith. Join millions awaiting the next chapter. Soft ambient music rises. Peaceful, emotional. The logo of your channel fades in at the bottom corner, glowing faintly. Because every heart deserves to see the light. Music fades. The screen turns black. A final sound. One quiet heartbeat. End.